Every year, millions of tons of tuna travel across the oceans, from tropical waters to temperate regions, following the complex mix of warm and cold ocean currents. They are among the few fish species capable of migrating thousands of kilometers, or about thousands of miles, while still maintaining remarkable speed and endurance throughout their journey. Tuna never stop swimming because their body structure requires a constant flow of water through their gills to absorb oxygen. This unique trait makes them comparable to a biological machine that operates tirelessly in the depths of the ocean. Today, researchers have identified more than 15 different species of tuna, with bluefin, yellowfin, and big-eye tuna being the three most important both commercially and ecologically. They can reach swimming speeds of over 43 miles per hour, or about 70 kilometers per hour, ranking them among the fastest creatures in the sea. Beyond their crucial role in the ocean's food chain, tuna also brings significant benefits to humans. Tuna meat is rich in omega-3 fatty acids, protein, and essential minerals, which help improve heart health, lower cholesterol, and boost memory. For that reason, tuna has become one of the most popular food sources in the world, consumed in more than 150 countries, with an estimated global trade value of over $40 billion each year. From being a constantly migrating ocean traveler, tuna has become an essential part of both the marine ecosystem and our daily meals. Their endurance is not just a biological trait. It stands as a symbol of the lasting connection between the ocean and life on land. Tuna are among the most far-migrating fish species on Earth. Satellite studies show that every year they travel an average distance of about 4,300 to 5,600 miles, or roughly 7,000 to 9,000 kilometers, crossing multiple ocean regions, from tropical waters where they spawn to colder seas rich in food sources. Their migration is anything but random. They move seasonally, following major ocean currents such as the Kuroshio, the California, and the equatorial currents. Warm waters carry their eggs and larvae, while cooler regions are filled with smaller fish, their main source of food. Each migratory route has remained remarkably consistent over thousands of years of evolution, repeating almost precisely with the changing seasons. Tuna possess an extraordinary ability to sense tiny variations in water temperature and the Earth's magnetic field, allowing them to navigate and maintain an accurate course across vast distances. They also have a special circulatory system known as countercurrent heat exchange, which enables them to keep their body temperature higher than the surrounding water. This adaptation lets them swim quickly even in cold environments while maintaining steady speed, a tremendous advantage compared to most other fish species. Their average cruising speed can reach up to 47 miles per hour, or about 75 kilometers per hour, roughly the speed of a motorcycle on a highway. Their streamlined bodies, short fins, and dense red muscle fibers, built for endurance, allow them to swim continuously without exhaustion. A mature tuna can weigh between 880 and 1,320 pounds, or about 400 to 600 kilograms, grow longer than 10 feet, or about 3 meters, and consume up to 10 times more oxygen than an average fish. To track and harvest tuna, humans have developed advanced technologies, such as sonar systems, satellite navigation, and reconnaissance aircraft. Commercial fishing vessels monitor the movement of tuna schools by detecting variations in water temperature and plankton density, areas where tuna often gather to hunt. Once radar signals indicate their presence, The entire crew mobilizes immediately because the window to pursue a tuna school may last only a few hours. Each tuna school can include thousands of individuals moving in tight coordination at high speed and with remarkable organization. When they encounter favorable currents, they often dive as deep as 1,600 feet, or about 500 meters, to search for prey, then rise to warmer surface waters to regulate their body temperature. This process continues for months on end, forming a massive biological cycle that spans across the world's oceans. Thanks to their long-distance migrations, incredible speed, and adaptability, tuna have become one of the most vital species in the ocean, helping regulate the marine food chain and maintain ecological balance from the deep sea to the surface. Tuna fishing is one of the toughest and most technically demanding professions in the maritime industry. Each voyage can last anywhere from a few days to several weeks, depending on the fishing grounds and the target tuna species. Fishermen set out before dawn, traveling hundreds of nautical miles into the open ocean, where massive tuna schools often gather seasonally. A single net haul can bring in hundreds of fish, but achieving that requires enduring some of the harshest conditions at sea. The open ocean is never calm. Strong winds and waves reaching 10 to 16 feet, or about 3 to 5 meters, are entirely normal. When the weather turns rough, the vessel shakes violently, the deck becomes dangerously slippery, and ropes and nets can whip or tangle, threatening anyone standing on board. Under such conditions, every net pull and every cast of a line demands absolute precision and coordination among the crew. Before releasing the nets, the crew must use sonar equipment to locate tuna schools within a range of several dozen nautical miles. Once the coordinates are confirmed, the vessel circles the area, deploying a purse seine net to surround the school while carefully adjusting speed to avoid scaring the fish away. When the net closes, the entire crew works together to haul it in using a hydraulic winch system, a job that requires both strength and patience for hours on end. Each adult tuna can weigh between 440 and 1,100 pounds, or about 200 to 500 kilograms, making it extremely difficult to lift them aboard. Experienced fishermen often use special gaff hooks to pull the fish onto the deck without damaging their bodies, a crucial factor in determining commercial value. Some modern vessels use hydraulic lifts, but most still rely heavily on human strength. The work continues non-stop, often in freezing conditions, sometimes late at night with only the ship's lights reflecting on the gray water below. Once the tuna are brought on board, they are immediately chilled to preserve freshness. Fishermen use crushed ice or ultra-fast freezing systems at -40 degrees Celsius, or about -40 degrees Fahrenheit, to maintain meat quality. Every step must be completed within minutes. Any delay in cooling can slow the temperature drop, directly reducing the fish's export value. On long-distance voyages, tuna are stored in deep freeze compartments and can be preserved for several weeks before returning to port. A successful trip can yield dozens of tons of tuna, or about tens of metric tons, but results are never guaranteed. There are days when the vessel travels hundreds of kilometers, or about hundreds of miles, without spotting a single school. Fishermen often stay awake through the night, monitoring radar signals and adjusting their course according to wind direction, water temperature, and depth. Prolonged fatigue and lack of sleep are common, but the crew must remain completely focused. A single mistake could tear the nets or allow the tuna to escape. For many, tuna fishing is not just a job. It is the sole source of livelihood for their families. Each trip carries both hope and risk. A sudden storm, a malfunction in the middle of the ocean, or even a single slip on a wet deck can lead to serious accidents. Yet fishermen keep returning to the sea, fully aware of the value each fish represents. Not only in economic terms, but also as proof of human skill, discipline, and endurance against nature's power. When the vessel finally docks, the work is far from over. The tuna are sorted, weighed, and inspected for quality right at the pier. Those meeting premium standards are sent to processing plants, mainly for export to Japan, Europe, and the United States, where demand for sashimi, sushi, and canned tuna remains exceptionally high. Each fish is priced based on its weight, fat content, and core temperature at the time of freezing. A top-grade bluefin tuna can fetch thousands of US dollars. Behind those numbers and the stunning footage of tuna fishing lies an entire chain of hard work, requiring precise coordination between people, technology, and the forces of nature. From locating the fish, casting the nets, preserving the catch, to transporting and processing, every stage directly affects the final product's quality. Tuna fishing, therefore, is not merely a traditional trade, but also a high-tech profession, a remarkable combination of seafaring experience and modern science. When the fishing vessel docks, all the tuna are unloaded using specialized lifting equipment. The first step of processing begins right there, checking the core temperature of each fish. Every tuna is measured with a dedicated thermometer, and only those with a core temperature of -0.4 degrees Fahrenheit or lower, which is about -18 degrees Celsius, are allowed into the central cold storage facility. This inspection ensures that the fish's cellular structure remains intact and that the proteins have not broken down due to slow freezing. From the port, the tuna are transported in refrigerated trucks to processing plants within a few hours. The temperature inside these vehicles is kept between -4 and -13 degrees Fahrenheit, or about -20 to -25 degrees Celsius, to prevent any microbial activity. At the factory, processing begins immediately while the fish are still in a frozen state. Cutting, sectioning, and deboning are all performed under stable cold conditions to minimize quality loss. In modern facilities, between 88 and 165 tons of tuna, or about 80 to 150 metric tons, can be processed each day. The production process includes several key stages: controlled thawing, size grading, meat separation, blood removal, and packaging for storage. To meet export standards, every stage is overseen by quality assurance inspectors who check each batch carefully. Tuna cutting knives are made from high-carbon alloy steel, extremely sharp and resistant to temperature changes. The blades are chilled with liquid nitrogen before being used to slice frozen tuna, reducing friction and preserving the protein structure within the meat. Workers must be highly trained in precision cutting techniques, because even a few millimeters off can cost thousands of US dollars in lost value for a single bluefin tuna. In Japan, the art of tuna cutting, known as maguro kaitai, is considered a specialized craft in the seafood industry. A professional tuna cutter must undergo years of training before being permitted to handle large-sized fish. Their annual income can reach up to 200,000 US dollars. But with that comes the heavy responsibility of ensuring every cut is perfectly accurate. A misplaced cut can ruin the meat's texture, color, and flavor, especially in tuna destined for sashimi. After cutting, the tuna meat is classified based on color, fat content, and texture. The darker, leaner sections are typically used for canned or cooked products. The pale pink fatty belly portion, known as toro, is reserved for high-end sashimi and sushi. Each cut is individually coated, vacuum-packed, and stored in freezing chambers at -76 degrees Fahrenheit, or about -60 degrees Celsius. At this temperature, the tuna maintains its natural flavor and texture over long storage periods without degradation. In internationally certified facilities, such as those meeting HACCP or ISO 22000 standards, the entire process is monitored automatically using sensors. Temperature, timing, and humidity levels are recorded continuously to ensure every batch meets export requirements. Before leaving the factory, each shipment undergoes tests for heavy metal residues, microbial safety, and fat composition. Only after passing all these evaluations is the tuna labeled with its origin and shipped worldwide, from Asia to Europe and the United States. Thanks to the combination of advanced technology and strict quality control, tuna has evolved beyond a simple wild catch. It has become part of a complete industrial value chain, seamlessly connecting the open ocean to sterile, high-tech processing lines. After being transported to the factory, each tuna undergoes a rigorous cleaning process. Every fish is thoroughly rinsed with cold water to remove all impurities and traces of blood, ensuring the flesh retains its natural color and quality throughout processing. The tuna is then placed into an industrial steaming system, where the temperature is kept steady at around 212 degrees F, or about 100 degrees, for a full 120 minutes. This step ensures the meat is evenly cooked and can be easily separated from the bones while maintaining the natural muscle fiber structure. Once the tuna is fully steamed, workers begin the most meticulous manual stage, removing the skin, bones, fat, and any dark-colored flesh. Only the light, tender, and evenly textured portions are retained. These contain the highest protein levels, low fat, and the characteristic flavor of premium tuna. Each piece of meat is carefully placed on inspection tables to ensure no small bones or fragments remain. The next phase is canning, where precision and craftsmanship play a decisive role. Each tin can is hand-packed by workers, ensuring the tuna flakes or fillets are neatly aligned, uniform in weight, and evenly distributed. For premium brands, the compression level of the fish inside the can is even measured by sensors to achieve the ideal fill. Tight enough for consistency, yet not so dense as to damage the meat fibers. After packing, each can is filled with sunflower oil, olive oil, or purified brine, depending on the product type. The use of oil or brine not only enhances flavor, but also helps preserve moisture, preventing the fish from drying out during storage. The lids are then vacuum sealed to remove all air inside, effectively preventing oxidation. The sealed cans are transferred to a sterilization system where they are heated to 250 degrees F, or about 121 degrees C, for approximately 90 minutes. This step eliminates all remaining microorganisms, allowing the product to be safely stored for 3 to 5 years without the need for any artificial preservatives. After sterilization, the cans are gradually cooled with cold water, dried, and labeled in accordance with international export standards. Every stage, even a deviation of just a few minutes or a few degrees, can affect the flavor and final value of the product. That's why modern tuna canning production lines are monitored automatically using temperature and pressure sensors, ensuring that every can reaching consumers meets the highest standards of food safety and nutrition. Each year, the global seafood industry records more than 7 million tons of tuna being caught and consumed. From processing plants in Thailand, Japan, Spain, and Vietnam, refrigerated containers packed with tuna are shipped to hundreds of countries around the world. Every shipment is kept at a temperature between 18 degrees and 25 degrees Celsius, to ensure the fish maintains its freshness and nutritional value throughout transport. A journey that can last for weeks at sea or along international air routes. Upon arrival, the tuna is distributed to supermarket chains, restaurants, and food processing facilities. In Japan, the tuna belly, known as toro, is served as sushi or sashimi and regarded as a premium delicacy, rich in nutrients, and particularly high in omega-3 fatty acids. In the United States, canned tuna is a staple ingredient for sandwiches, salads, and quick meals favored by office workers. Meanwhile, in the Mediterranean region, tuna is often paired with vegetables, olive oil, and lemon, creating a balanced dish of protein, healthy fats, and fiber. The worldwide popularity of tuna stems not only from its distinctive flavor, but also from its convenience and health benefits. With its high protein content, low cholesterol, and abundance of unsaturated fatty acids, tuna is a fitting choice for a wide range of diets, from weight management menus to athletic nutrition plans. From an economic perspective, tuna is one of the most important export commodities for many coastal nations, generating billions of US dollars annually for the seafood industry. The advancement of cold chain logistics, modern transportation, and preservation technologies has turned this species into an essential part of the global culinary network, where a single fish caught in the middle of the ocean can end up on the dining tables of millions of families across continents. Tuna is one of the most nutrient-rich foods that the ocean provides. In just 100 grams of tuna meat, there are more than 25 grams of high-quality protein, virtually no carbohydrates, and less than 2% fat. Notably, tuna is an excellent source of omega-3 fatty acids, particularly EPA and DHA, which play vital roles in reducing inflammation, improving cardiovascular function, and supporting brain health. This is why tuna is a staple in the diets of athletes and individuals who follow a healthy lifestyle. In addition, tuna contains a wide range of B vitamins, including B3, B6, and B12, as well as essential minerals such as selenium, phosphorus, and magnesium. Selenium is especially important because it helps the body combat oxidative stress and protects cells from damage. In many countries, tuna is regarded as a source of clean protein, easily digestible and beneficial for muscle tissue repair. However, alongside its high nutritional value, tuna also carries a potential health concern that scientists have warned about for years: mercury content. Being high in the food chain, tuna can accumulate methylmercury, an organic form of mercury, from the smaller marine organisms it consumes. When humans eat tuna too frequently, this heavy metal can build up in the body, potentially affecting the nervous system and long-term health, especially in pregnant women and young children. Health organizations recommend that adults should consume tuna no more than 2 or 3 times per week, prioritizing smaller species such as skipjack or striped tuna, which tend to have lower mercury levels than larger species like bluefin or big-eye tuna. Many countries are also strengthening traceability technologies and fishing zone monitoring systems to ensure that every tuna product reaching consumers meets strict safety and quality standards. Today, technology, science, and public awareness are helping us find a balance between nutrition and safety, ensuring that tuna remains a food that provides benefits, not risks, to human health. When dusk falls, the fishing boats quietly return after long days at sea. Inside each heavy crate of tuna lies the sweat, patience, and faith of those whose lives are bound to the ocean. The tuna, the farthest migrating fish on the planet, is not only a precious source of food, but also a testament to the enduring vitality of nature. Every piece of tuna on our plates represents hundreds of hours of labor, a fusion of knowledge, technology, and deep respect for the sea. But the ocean is not an infinite resource. If we only take without preserving, the future of these fish and the livelihoods of countless people will be at risk. That's why we must act today. Choose products certified as sustainably caught. Consume responsibly and conserve marine resources. Raise awareness about ocean protection within our communities. Every small action, every mindful choice contributes to keeping the seas blue, tuna populations thriving, and life on this planet continuing to flourish. See you in the next video, when we set sail once more, witnessing the tuna harvest season, where human effort, technology, and nature unite in the rhythm of the ocean. Don't forget to subscribe, share this video, and follow Mr. Cheo's next journey, the return of the tuna season. The ocean is still telling its story, and we've only just heard the first chapter.